Just
Thank
a
you.
little bit. Just a little bit. Hello, world.
Test, test, test.
Test, test, test.
We
What up,
testing
Big
now.
Tone?
I don't know. I just trying to see if I can hear my voice.
Salute. What's happening?
So quiet. Happy
E.
Veterans Day.
Happy
Yes,
Veterans
sir.
Day. Happy Veterans Day.
Shout
To
out
all
to
you
all the
people out
vets.
here to serve, protecting us. Much props to y'all. Bigger man than most of us.
Yes, sir.
What's good?
What's
cracking?
happening? What's happening?
What y'all do this weekend?
Did anybody do anything besides me?
Man, I was left alone at home, so I watched a lot of movies.
Well, that's probably it. You were at home by yourself.
Yeah, that's home.
Man,
What'd you watch?
Shit. What's that? That Mark Wahlberg movie, 22 Miles.
Oh yeah. I
Good,
peeped
good.
that flick. I
And
peeped that.
Equalize. And I watched back to back.
Wait, slow down.
Wait
The Mark Wahlberg movie. That
Yeah,
good?
but
Yeah.
I think so.
It's all right.
Yeah, I'm a Marky Mark fan.
Me too.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that dude's an asshole in that movie, but I understand. Considering he was an asshole, but I understand.
I might need to watch it again because I don't know. I kind of fell out of it.
You didn't like it?
Yeah, it wasn't.
I understand, but at the same time, with the twist in it, and then I watched Equalizer 2 with the twist in it.
Yeah.
I don't trust shit. I don't trust nobody. I don't even trust the motherfuckers in this room. Shit. But it was good though. It was good. What's happening?
I might like the Equalizer 2 better. Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't seen either one of them. They on my list. They on my list.
Man. Watch that shit back to back if you got time, and you won't trust anybody.
Every time I sit down now, I'm like, I think I stepped out. I'm sorry.
Got shit to do.
I'm not doing that this week.
You know what you said?
He's
You got
watching
shit to do.
football again.
Every time I sit down to watch it, I always turn on Black Mirror. I've been turning on Black Mirror lately on Netflix.
Yeah, you said that was pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
What is it?
It's like each show is different. So it's kind of like a lot of people compare it to Twilight Zone, but it's not Twilight Zone because it's each episode, even though they're different, they still kind of relate to each other. There's a little common factor in a lot of it, but it's good. Each episode, I mean, you can watch them out of order. It don't matter because each episode is on its own, but it's just good. A lot of sex and stuff in it too.
Shit,
Oh, yeah.
sex
Man,
is a norm now.
there ain't
on
a lot of
TV.
sex in it, but when they do have sex in it, I mean, it's sex. So
So you think that's more related because a lot of these shows are now streaming shows like Netflix and Sony Crackle and Hulu.
what was the question?
You think the sex is more prevalent because of they're not ABC, NBC, CBS?
I just think that with everything now, the shit, everything is more real now. So when you look at shit like everything from video games to music and everything's so real that it's only right that it spills over into the TV shows or the shows that we watch, and that's where I think that whatchamacallit TV, what do we call it? TV, the regular TV, NBC and CBS.
Prime time. I don't know.
That type of television, that's what they're lacking, and that's
Wow.
why it shows. I think it's starting to show that people are starting to sway more towards the Netflixes, like you said, the Crackle, Hulu, because you're seeing more real stuff, the cussing, the sex, the violence. I mean, you look even on those regular channels when you talk about CBS, NBC, who am I leaving out? ABC. I mean,
Yeah,
you look at
amen.
their TV shows that they are playing. It's a lot more violence. You look at all the cop shows.
They're competing.
Yeah, so everything they have stepped it up, but they can only step it up so high. And I just think that when you're talking about the Hulus or I don't know about Hulu because I don't mess, but I know like Netflix, they get to take it to that level every time. So it's like, to me, it's like even when it's whatever you call the type of shows that are episodes, it's still like watching a movie because you're getting, you're
Yeah,
getting.
they got their own content, so they can do whatever they want their content.
Well, and the rules are different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
The
sure.
rules are
Yeah,
different.
definitely.
I mean, because it's not that they have their own content. Every, I know what you're saying, but every company has their own content. ABC has their own content.
Yeah, but they can
they're
do
going by
whatever they
different.
want
But they're
to
going
do.
by different rules.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't think they're under the same restriction as a nationally
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
broadcast
That's
show
what
or
that's what
whatever.
Tony's
Yeah,
saying.
No,
yeah,
no, because shit, if anything, you paying for it.
yeah. I think that's what it is. Since you're paying to subscribe to that subscription, unlike
Yeah.
a broadcast show that's you pick it up off the airwaves, they don't have to have the same
Yeah,
restrictions.
the good thing about it is that you could either wait until the season's over or whatever, or you could just keep watching it back to back until you have time. Because
That's what I love
there was a
about
time where
streaming.
I had a time where I had to be.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you know what I
because
mean. Like I had to
One of
be
the
there at a certain
advantages.
time.
One of the advantages of now with what is it? So YouTube. You know
Yeah.
what? But we will say with direct TV and stuff.
Yeah,
Now you can. I haven't figured it out yet because I watched the Walking Dead, right?
Mhm.
And I ain't figured it out yet. But for when they play it on whatever night, that's Sunday night. Is that Sunday night they play it on?
yeah.
Mhm.
When they play it Sunday night, you're able to watch that on demand. Like go back and watch it for so long, and then after a while you can't watch it. So what happens is if you wait too long, you can't see certain episodes right away. And then I think they come back on demand where you can watch them again later. But it's like it sucks 'cause you can't go on demand right now and just watch them all.
Yeah.
You only can watch certain ones.
Yeah.
I don't. Certain networks are like that. Like
I don't like that.
Some shows like episodes you just came on. You're like, well, I want to see this one. I gotta wait. I gotta go 1, 3. I don't get 2, 1, 3,
Yeah,
5.
two. For some reason, they're
Yeah.
not gonna let you see two.
Yeah, it's like what kind of mess
It doesn't
is
make
that?
sense. I don't like
yeah,
that.
I
But
know what you're talking about.
Ain't
Yeah,
no-
because I know cable is like, if you want to go back so far, they want to make you pay for it.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? Like you want to
Yeah,
go
yeah,
to
you-
another season. Like say you missed last season, and you want to catch up to this season. They're gonna make you pay for last season, but if you want to go back to the beginning of the season that's on right now, no problem. But
Well, they're
I gotta
doing that-
pay for that shit.
They're doing that. They're doing that with this season. There's certain ones on this season that you have to pay.
yeah.
So you don't have to go back to the last season. They got ones during this season, or at least on The Walking Dead. If you want to see stuff on this, you click on it, and this they're asking for money for it. So
That's one of them shows I'll probably get into another year. I just got so many.
you ain't watched The Walking Dead at
I
all.
don't watch The Walking
Oh
Dead.
man,
I heard it's really good.
you know what's good about the Walking
I don't
Dead?
watch it.
The thing about The Walking Dead that I like is that it's I've never been a zombie person. I ain't never liked zombie movies. I just ain't never got them. Why everybody? I mean, I get it, but I don't get why everybody's so into them. But I don't know what made me start watching it. But I started watching it, man. All of a sudden, I just became. I was that. I guess I was that zombie person. So
It is a show that hooks you in.
yeah.
I love horror.
Tony
movies.
don't like it. I like it.
I invested a lot of my Sundays to that freaking show, and it just killed me every end of the season where it was just like it's too much. I can't deal with the bullshit that they give me all the time, so I'm done. I'm what 3, 4 seasons behind. I was done after Morgan showed
Hey,
up out
hey,
of nowhere.
he ain't seen it yet.
He don't even know who Morgan is.
Yeah.
He will know as soon as he start watching it.
Yeah, but that ain't gonna matter.
Shit, you know me. I watching that sports. I didn't watch any shows like that. I watch the sports. I watch some sports. Man,
Hulu you can catch up though.
You
Yeah.
a lie. You watch all kinds of different movies and shows.
I didn't watch any shows like that. I watch a lot of shows. You're right, but I'm saying that this weekend there was a lot of good sports on, so I was watching that.
this weekend.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't even focus on like catching up, even though I do watch one show called Startup on Sony Crackle, but don't even trip on that. That's just shit crazy.
Man, have you seen what's it? I don't know if they pronounce it Zion Williamson.
That's a big boy. I
From,
seen his frame and I
from
kind of
Duke.
seen Duke. Yeah,
Yeah, so they got him at 6'7", 285 pounds.
LeBron's cousin. Damn, that's a big dude.
That nigga bigger than LeBron. He might not be. Oh yeah, he's tall as LeBron too. So yeah, he's bigger than LeBron. But this is the remember he was in high school last year.
Yeah, Oh, he's 19 years old. Yeah, I know that.
That's crazy.
I thought LeBron 6'8" though, 6'8". So
Is
he's a
he
little bit.
6'9", 6'8"?
Yeah, LeBron 6'8".
Okay.
That's a big ass dude though. I seen him. I was like, damn, that's a big boy. It's
Yeah,
amazing
he's
how
humongous.
these kids that unfortunately for him, he is a kid, will get treated like a grown ass man if he was somewhere else. You know what I mean? They look at his frame and see how big he is, but that's just a kid and a talented
that's
kid.
a damn man.
I know.
Dude,
That's a
is
man.
he 19?
His mind, yeah, but his mind though. You know what I'm saying? He's 19 years old.
Depends on his maturity level.
Yeah, at 19, you a man, bro.
Yeah,
I did a
I
lot
ain't
of
gonna say he's not
shit.
Yeah,
bad.
at 19.
I did
But
a
you
lot of
making
shit
still
when I
making
was
dumbass
19.
decisions.
Well,
still
you're gonna make dumbass decisions.
rest of
Probably
your
till
life.
you're
As a
40 years
40-year-old.
old. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He gonna make some dumbass decisions.
Mhm.
I think you get smarter when you turn 50, and maybe not even that. But 19, if his maturity level is on point,
Yeah.
he'll be
Because
all right.
as far as sports go, I mean that's a man. When you that big and stuff, ain't that much difference mentally between the
Physically,
19-year-old,
yeah, you're right.
19-year-old and a 22, 23-year-old. They might have experienced a little more, a couple more years before you, but
Hmm.
as far as physically, that's a grown ass man.
Yeah, I seen him though. I seen him play, and I thought he was pretty impressive. So he's probably one and
Man,
done.
pretty impressive. They can't stop the kid.
That's
The
one
kid is
and done.
humongous, and he can get. Of course, it's one and done. That whole team is one and done.
That's the way they get down. And Duke, not that Duke so much.
It ain't Duke. That's everybody now. Think about it.
What was is it
Arizona,
Louisville?
huh?
Who was it? Louisville. Was it Louisville was always known for the one and done?
As far as I know,
John Calipari or whatever dude's name was. Remember, every time they come,
nah,
they
it's
come 1 year.
Kentucky.
Kentucky's the one.
Yeah, Kentucky. Ooh,
What? Yeah.
it's Kentucky. Kentucky with. I'm sorry. Yeah, Kansas. I'm sorry, Kansas.
Kansas.
Yeah, because it's with with.
One of them always one and done. I forgot who it
Think
was.
about it. Kansas got all them stars that came up out of it, starting with Boogie, and not starting with Boogie before Boogie, but and Anthony, Anthony Davis, all them cats.
Yeah,
They one and dones.
I'm gonna guess that's the minimum requirement for the NBA, right? One
Yeah.
1 year.
Arizona the same way.
Yeah.
All them cats that came out of Arizona, they one and done.
Well, at least you get that year.
I mean, truthfully, they shouldn't even have to go to school for a year. If they don't want to go to school for a year, why make them go for a year?
No, I don't think. I think you're right.
The only
I
reason
mean-
why they going for a year is so the colleges can get a little bit of money out of them. That's the only reason why they're making them go a year. What good is 1 year of college?
Let me ask you this: do you think it's fair that North Carolina still gets to sell the Jordan jersey, and Jordan gets nothing out of it?
Yeah.
Dang.
I don't know if it's fair, but
play
I mean,
for
the way stuff's on, why
Huh?
not?
Play for him.
23. How old is Jordan? Jordan been out of the NBA for at least what, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years,
Don't matter
More
to
than
them.
that.
more than that. And North Carolina is still getting paid off the 23 jersey. Woo!
Hey man,
What's wrong with that?
gotta make that money somehow.
That's a lot.
Believe
Because
me,
you could
it's
turn
not
it
hurting
around.
Jordan.
You could turn it around. You could say if you don't think that Carolina should be getting paid off of Michael Jordan, who took the chance on Michael Jordan and brought him in, you could turn it around. You could take any player and say, okay, in that case, Magic Johnson shouldn't be getting paid off of the Laker jersey since he ain't played for the Lakers since.
But the NBA players get rights; they get paid.
That's
for
what I'm
the
saying.
jersey.
They do. That's what I'm
They do.
saying. So what I'm saying is you could flip it around and say, the players shouldn't get paid for if they don't play no more? Why are they still getting paid for the years? Just like the team should be able to make money off of the player,
Right.
and the player should be able to make money off of the team.
That's my argument with North Carolina.
That's what North Carolina's doing. North
But Jordan's
Carolina's,
not getting any money.
but we're talking about students.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. The college is getting money.
I didn't say it was fair.
Oh,
I said that I can believe because that's the way it's set up. The college kids don't make any money. Remember, I know you a big Jordan fan,
yeah.
but Jordan wasn't a great college player.
Oh, he was all right. He hit the shot. That was it. You know?
Exactly.
All right, that
I
was
mean,
it.
so it's not like, I
I
the reason why everybody's interested in a Jordan jersey is because of who he became afterwards.
right. And
I mean,
it just gets to a point when you're just getting so much money. I mean, I don't know because like you said, I don't know what like a Carmelo Anthony. I don't know if he gets. They still sell Carmelo Anthony jerseys from his college.
Syracuse,
Yeah, who knows? Maybe that's just
do they?
something. I don't know.
So I mean, I'm not knowing this. So I think you're wrong. I'm not for sure, but I think Jordan does make money off of that North Carolina jersey. You know why I say that is because it's sold on the Nike. It's sold on the Nike's website. You can buy a North Carolina Nike jersey with because remember they're sponsored by Jordan. Now it's got this Jordan sign on it,
Yeah.
and he makes money off of that. Think about it. It's
Yeah,
got the
that probably,
Jordan.
that, you might,
It's
it
got
might
the
be the
Jordan
that might be the way
emblem.
around it. Just
Man,
what you
you
just
gotta
said.
the
I
That
mean,
could be the way
it's got the
around it.
Jumpman on it. They all
Yeah.
wear Jordan
Right,
tennis shoes.
right.
I mean,
You got to get paid for
Carolina's
the likeness.
paying-
Yeah, that might be a way around it.
They're
maybe,
paying him
maybe
now.
North Carolina
Mm.
said, "Okay, well, look, we
But-
understand."
But in reality, not gonna hurt him.
No, if he
gonna
wasn't
hurt
getting
him.
paid, it ain't
It
gonna
ain't
hurt him.
gonna.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna hurt him.
It's
It's just
not gonna hurt the man.
when I
But
hear about college athletes
That's
and
a-
I always think
yeah.
about your daughter. Great to me, a good college athlete that could have gave. I thought the school could have gave much more. They could have helped them better. They could have did a lot more things for the kids because, you know, sports brings in tons of money. They got endorsements from colleges and this and that. So when you listen to those athletes and what they have to live off and how they're living and all that, that's good for a kid, right? No doubt. I'm not going to say it's not good for a kid, but it is still a strain on the parents to go see them and do all these things and get down there and deal with the kids. If the kids had a little bit more, it wouldn't be so much of a strain. I just feel like, I mean, it
Is
could
that,
be.
is that kids not on a full ride or the kids on a full ride?
There's some kids on full ride and some kids not on full rides.
There's the
No,
kids-
no,
the kids on non-full rides.
Okay.
are
Some kids
kinda
on
little-
partial.
that's-
Some kids
No,
on partial.
no,
That's
no, no,
even-
no, no, no.
that's
not
tough.
true. You guys all over the. I mean, you asking the question, but you're kind of all over the place on it. On a true Division One school,
Uh-huh.
when you're talking about them big schools, like when you're talking about like you saying North Carolina, for instance,
Yeah.
every one of them single kids on their basketball teams on a D1 full ride scholarship.
Right.
When you're talking about them type of schools, my experience, even when you talking about my daughter,
Yeah.
everybody on that team is on a full ride scholarship. They're not. Remember, these are D1 top schools, so they're going after. They're not. It's not that they're going after. They're able to get some of the top players. I mean, not some of the top players in the nation.
Mhm.
So they're offering D1s. Think about it. If you're going after a top player in the nation and you're not offering a full ride scholarship, there's 20 other schools that's offering a full ride scholarship.
All right, but I was talking about college in general.
Okay,
I
yeah.
wasn't- I wasn't
So when
saying-
you break it down into
Yeah.
smaller colleges
Yeah,
and stuff,
college in
that's a
general.
little different.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to tell you about is that speaking from experience, is that the kids, it's a little different because you're talking about my daughter. So with girls, it's a little different. On the boy side, some of the boys, not all of them, but some of the boys, as a college athlete, when you talk about certain college athletes where it's kind of hard to, it doesn't happen as much anymore because they're one and out.
Mhm.
They're one and out. So back in the day, then when you talk about like the Fab 5,
Mhm.
you talking about like Michigan,
Mhm.
that was different.
Mhm.
Them cats were in school for a while, and they brought a lot of money to the school.
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking about one and outs, you're investing a lot of money in these kids, and yes, they fill up the place, but they fill up the place because you're putting out a good product every season. And what I mean when I say that is I mean the kids get a lot.
Yeah.
With my daughter, they got everything they needed. They ate well. When I
Yeah.
say well, they ate well. When they were especially when they were traveling, they ate at the best restaurants because the coach was that type of person. She wanted to eat at the best restaurants, so they ate at the best restaurants. They were a Nike elite school, so they had more gear than they needed. They had 5 or 6 pair of shoes. They had sweatsuits for every day. They had everything that they needed. Practice gear was put out for them every day. Different practice gear. They had 4 or 5 different uniforms for practice gear that was put out for them every day. So they're well taken care of. And on top of that, they were given a little money, and I don't know where this comes from. I think this has something to do with I forgot what the rule is, but the boys get so much, so the girls have to get so much,
Yeah.
and
Title
because
Nine.
so that difference sometimes was given to the girls in money,
Yeah.
so they would actually get cash. Where
Title.
and that's where the problem comes in at because they're not allowed to work.
Right. Right.
So when you got boys, where especially when you talk about a football team, where the money takes care of a lot of other stuff. They're flying most of the time. They're It's a lot more of them. It's a lot everything. So
Mm.
this maybe there's not that money to give them. So they don't get of course the under the table stuff, but they're not getting that money. So that's where the problem comes in it because they don't have the money like supposedly to take a girl out on a date.
Yeah.
They don't have the money to do certain go have a
They don't have
pizza
a
with
car.
but
They have
it's funny.
football wardrobe and basketball wardrobe, but
Yeah,
they don't have
but
regular clothes.
But I'm just going to tell you from
Yeah.
the Arizona. It's funny because they're in trouble right now. The boys basketball team, they're in trouble from last year. I'm just going to tell you from experience on campus. These guys are riding around in nice ass cars. They got
Illegally though.
they
right?
got Louis Vuitton backpacks.
Yeah.
They got all this stuff that they're supposedly not supposed to have. They got more money than the regular kids walking around and stuff.
Mhm.
Where they're getting it from, we're not
Yeah, and
supposed to know.
that's crazy.
But
Yeah.
when I'm going, but that anyway, yeah. So I don't know why I brought up him, but I did go to the game this weekend. I went to the Kings and Lakers game.
Yeah, watch that joint on TV.
Man, that place was packed. That place was popping.
Was it 50-50 again? Lakers versus
No.
Kings? Or more Kings fans?
It's like there was more Laker fans than.
Dang.
These
That-
Laker fans out here in Sacramento.
Man,
There
it
was-
is.
it-
It is.
they
But I'm
actually-
saying
they
sometimes
were-
you go in there, it's 50-50, and sometimes you go in there, there's a lot of Laker
Nah,
fans.
Bro, they were actually
Especially when Lakers come to town.
they were actually louder
Oh.
in the state. There was times when they were yelling Lakers, and it was like they were like
Deafening.
just bullying the arena.
Dang.
It was over it, but it was that was crazy. But it was a good ass. Well, it was
That was a good game. I thought the Kings did a good job trying
well
to come
at
back.
the beginning. At the beginning, I
yeah.
thought that the Kings were gonna give them a run,
Yeah.
but it was obvious like by the I don't know by the middle of the second, you could tell that the Lakers could have turned it on any time. I mean, when you got LeBron James and seeing him up close,
Mhm.
that's a big. He's a. I was talking to my brother today, and it was like LeBron James. That's my first time seeing him, up close in person. And when you see LeBron James, it's something about him, bro. He carries himself different. He almost seems like I hate to be all up in his ass like this, but it's almost like he is royalty when he's walking. When you're watching him, you're like, this whole way he carries himself is just different. You look at him. First of all, I think it's, I don't know, 500 pounds of muscle. That's a big individual. And then you see him out there. It's like he can do whatever he wants to do. It's like I don't know. I've never experienced. I'm trying to think something that I've seen a lot of basketball games, but I've never seen a basketball player that it's just as regal as he is. I mean, you see him, you're just like, damn. And I've seen Kobe. I've seen some players, but it's something about him that he just carries himself in a different way, and I can see why. My brother was telling me that King James. I can see why they call him King James. It is something about him, but he was something to see up close. Like I said, I don't feel the same way when I've seen Kevin Durant. I've seen everybody else. Just hadn't seen LeBron yet. He was just a little different. So that was a good experience. The downtown was popping. The atmosphere was nice. We went to the Yard House again, bruh. Got my
My shit.
I got my Blue Moon
Mango.
mango flavor beer. But they got it on tap.
Oh, that's fresh.
Ooh, man, we drinking out the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
That motherfucker on tap tastes. I,
All those tabs they got,
man, they
man.
got 500 tabs.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
all
But that
sick.
mango, that blue moon mango on tap, I was like, damn.
If you get all the
Because
flavors.
remember, I told Tony, I went like the week before.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the second week in a row. I went back again this weekend.
Just go get that blue moon on
Well,
tap.
we was like, where we gonna go eat before the game? Where we gonna go eat before the game? And I was like, well, we can go to the Yard House again. And you know, they was like, cool, let's go. Because I had my daughter and my nephew with me, and they hadn't been there. So yeah, we went there, and that shit's on hit, man. I like that shit. I wanted real close. I know y'all weren't there, but it's something y'all can join in on.
What up?
Uh, so I get these tickets that are the good ass tickets. You know, the tickets I usually get.
Yeah.
And I sit in the family section. So I sit in the King's family section. And the one thing about sitting with the family is that you notice. Let me get a piece of that too. What you notice is that you know, they supposedly this is the family, so you know they got a little money and stuff to spend. The fashion.
Yeah.
The fashion, bro. So, you know, you got the. I mean, I don't even want to. I don't want to sound male chauvinist. We're not going to even talk about the guys that much. We kind of know they got some crazy stuff going on. I guess I noticed a lot of that billionaire boys club.
T-shirts.
They weren't even t-shirts. I saw sweatsuits and stuff because you know they passed the t-shirt. We nigga, anybody can have a t-shirt.
Anybody.
We rocking the whole leather jacket, the leather motorcycle jacket with the
Shit.
with the sweats that match. But I guess that's what's popping right now. But the women that come to these games that sit in the family section,
to the T?
nigga,
To the T.
I don't know where the hell they dressing to go.
They're gonna be on TV.
Nigga, ain't nobody putting them on TV.
They're gonna, the
Man,
camera gonna go like this.
man, please.
They
So,
letting everybody know the player's wife.
Is that what it
they,
is?
I don't know if they're
Side
Girlfriends?
there's only two people on the
Side chick.
Kings married, I
Oh,
think.
super girlfriend.
Baby mama.
So these is girls' friends, side pieces,
Oh yeah, there you
and
go.
shit like that.
People got the seats.
So I seen one in some sheer like pants, bell bottomed with a fur. We in Sacramento. You saw the temperatures. Hey, it got a little cool at night, but come on. This motherfucker got a fur on,
Got first son.
all this hair,
Tone back in New York.
heels, and I'm looking like, where the fuck was she going? She going to the game. She got to dress like, I mean, I get it, I guess, but I'm looking like overdressed like a motherfucker. Then I noticed that all the girls who were, I don't know if they were wives or were they, like you said, wives. I don't know if they were wives or girlfriends, side chicks, whatever, sisters. Could be sisters.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true.
I noticed that they would dress like everybody else was dressed, but their shoe game was a little different. And so me and my wife is sitting there looking at the shoes, and I noticed that everybody's wearing. I see girls with Louis Vuitton sneakers on.
Mhm.
I see girls with they're all designer sneakers with that what is it called? Balenciaga, whatever that shit's called.
Yeah.
I see those sneakers
Mhm.
I mean, I see, and when you see these sneakers, if you don't know what they look like, Kev, look them up, Google them, because these shoes are some ugly ass shoes. They
Oh.
look like a lot of them look like old men walking shoes, and
New
that's like
Balances.
the look. Now New Balance got good looking shoes.
Mm.
I like New Balance. I always have like New Balance.
The old man wear New Balances. Right?
It depends on which one. You talking about the all black ones
The
that we
all
wear?
black ones.
Yeah, that's different. But New Balance got OGs that's nice. Them 574, all them shoes is fat as fuck. But anyway, I'm looking at these shoes and I'm like, damn, you know, everybody's sporting these, you know, these designer luxury tennis shoes. And so I I asked my girl, I was like, so you think? I said, do you think that anybody notices their shoe? Of course, I'm seeing them because I'm in the shoes. But do you think anybody really notices? And she's like, I could tell by her answer, but she was asking me like, notices what? She ain't paying attention to that kind of shit. And I started thinking that the only people who really care what their shoes look like is probably that circle that they run in. That whatever that circle is that they run in.
Oh, the player wives or
Yeah,
girlfriends.
they the ones who notice that. What are them? What are you wearing? Nikes? What are you wearing? What is it? What is that? Puma?
Yeah.
They're like, nobody wears that. They gotta have some kind of super label. And I saw a couple guys with them too. So,
Yeah,
but it's just a trip how they separate themselves from everybody else by wearing. Like I ain't never seen so many Louis Vuitton. I didn't know Louis Vuitton made so many different sneakers.
Damn.
Yeah, I saw at least 6 pair of Louis Vuitton sneakers. I saw some boots, Louis Vuitton boots, and then I saw them whatever shoes.
You're in Sacramento. Imagine having a home game in like
I know L.A. or New York,
LA or
where the
something,
brands,
New York.
because like
You
New
got
York,
some
New York is really brand
celebrities.
heavy.
Yeah, you got celebrities and you got all the fashion.
You know how we are in Cali. We all about Chucks and Vans and shit.
Keep it simple.
But you go to New York and they straight brand name. Everything they do. And
Everything is brand name.
Yeah.
It's all labels. They already know they separated by everybody else anyway.
I had a friend from D.C. when I was in the Army, and that's before I knew any brand names besides just the bullshit that everybody knows. And that motherfucker used to, every time I looked around, he had a new, something new talking about this belt. I'm like, nigga, you paid how much for a belt? And he's like, man, you don't understand. This is whatever. This is this. This is that. I'm like,
whole
man,
check.
what the fuck is that? We talking about, this is like
A military check at that, huh?
remember this is 2000. I mean, I'm sorry. This is 19. I'm sorry.
19.
This is 1992,
Yeah.
probably 91.
Yeah.
And this nigga had a Coach belt trying to explain to me what Coach was, and I was like, nigga, what is a Coach belt?
I didn't know.
In 91, I didn't know what a Coach belt was. This nigga was from, I think it was from DC. He was from DC or Maryland, one or two. And this nigga was telling me, I think he spent, I want to say like back then, maybe $70, $60 for this belt. I'm like, you spent that much for a belt? Nigga, you out your mind.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of money back in
That's
'92.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when you're talking to a brother that's sporting a Docker belt from Mervin's.
For sure.
2 for $5.
The brown
That
rope.
shit, that was like
The
50.
brown
I
rope
thought
twist.
nigga, I splurged. I bought this belt was $15.
Yeah.
Oh, stupid ass wearing a big ass belt. They only damn well it's like 2 times your waist. You just want that extra length to
Fucking
hang
drop
out
down.
like a dumbass.
Yeah, that's it.
Fucking $70.
Yeah, man.
Motherfucker, you tripping. That's the same way with all those cats from the South. They were Jabot. You want to hit? Yeah, get this Jabot.
Oh yeah, Jabot. You know what's funny you mentioned it because he was a Jabot cat too.
I don't know
That
what the
nigga
fuck
sported
is that.
Jabot like it wasn't no. Everything had to be Jabot.
Ain't gonna give me my Levi's, bruh. I don't know who this Jabot
He used to wear the Jabot and Tommy Hilfiger too all the time back then.
And then
you see Tommy back. All them niggas is wearing Tommy
I was
too.
at the store just the other day.
Yeah, Tommy made that shit back in. All the kids want to wear that Tommy stuff.
Damn.
Man, these cats were like, it was like Jabot and
Where were you at?
Polo.
Where were you at the other day?
What
store?
The outlet, the Tommy outlet,
They got a Tommy outlet?
Yeah.
Tommy Hilfiger. Oh yeah,
I didn't even know that.
yeah, they got Tommy outlet. I was up in there. I don't know. I don't see no outlet prices in them.
Yeah, that outlet
ain't what it
ain't-
used to be. Outlet used to be
I
you
ain't
get
no
a
outlet
discount
prices.
piece.
Outlet is just another word
Yeah,
for mall.
Yeah,
Nigga.
mall. That's what it is. When we put our new items out, you
mean-
can come get them here.
I mean, they had some discounts and stuff, but they ain't put the discount labels where I needed
Nah,
it to be.
they ain't
When
no-
the outlet first came out, it was like, remember you used to go get everything be a little bit cheaper because it wasn't perfect.
When the outlets first came out, it was way cheaper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
remember it's like the jacket. They had one of them.
I don't know if they quit selling
They said,
that
we
model or whatever that
Yeah, discontinued
Man, I don't
that
know.
style, and there was
I was in there and I was just looking around. It just happened to be a bad day too, because it was like a Sunday. Everybody was there, man. I was just like, oh no, I can't. This is too many people in there. And then I was like, I'm gonna have to come back a different day. But I seen something. I was just like, they fucking jacket for $300. Yeah, I'm out. I'll see you in the spring. I
It's
ain't
a
buying
trip
no
because we
$300
trip.
jacket.
We actually stress over a $300 jacket because it is what it is. It's a $300 jacket, but it's funny how when you listen to cats talk, especially not from around here. I'm not even gonna say not from around here. Just a whole a different generation from us. They act like these cats are spending $800, $1,000. Like it ain't nothing on shit like that, and it's like I can't see it, man.
It's a lot
I
of
just
hours,
can't
nigga.
see
I
it.
can't do it.
It's a nice jacket, but I'll see you in the spring when you
I heard
drop
that.
down a couple of prices. I
'Cause
don't
you
need
know-
you that bad.
The reason why I say that because that like I say I pay attention. I pay attention to these shoes that's supposedly all that. I pay attention to these bags that everybody has. These, these Louis Vuitton. The I haven't seen what them one bags called. That's like $10,000, $20,000.
Oh, they
Them
tripping.
Burka bag, whatever they're
Yeah.
called. See, that's the thing. Back in the day, I mean, a few years back, you saw like Kim Kardashian and the Kardashians and stuff wearing, they would have Louis Vuitton purses. They would have that shit. Then the common folks are getting that shit, so they got to take it a whole nother level up. So now they got these I think they're called Burka bags or
Yeah.
whatever they call.
Yeah.
It's something like that. But them
Yeah.
motherfuckers is like in the thousands and thousands. Like $2,000 for a bag wasn't good enough. Now these niggas is paying $10,000 a bag, and $10,000 is a lot of money for a bag. $10,000 is a lot of money for anything. I don't give a fuck what it is. But I just can't. I don't think they're gonna be able to make that common though.
All it takes is one celebrity to wear that shit, and
Yep.
everybody else will follow. Those who
Yep.
can afford it.
Those who
No,
wanna live like
people,
that.
people like
They
he was
was
saying
saying,
last
living off
last
what that
week.
means.
People who can afford it figure out a way to get it. They shouldn't be having it, and that's
They
what's
do.
crazy. That's what's crazy.
That's what they do.
Um,
They go get it.
Real quick. I know that I do this for. I'm gonna do this for Tone. Maybe Tone might want to give a little some good words about it because I know how he is.
What?
Stan Lee died.
Oh my god. At
The OG
95,
Stan
boy.
Lee died,
It's a hard one, bruh.
age of 95, born in 1922.
Yep.
Damn.
So
So
I'm gonna let Tony say a few kind words and what he meant to him. 'Cause Tony is the comic nerd.
I'm a nerd.
He's the superhero.
I'm not
The
a collector.
creator.
So
The creator.
if Tony can just you don't have to go long, but just
Yeah.
what he meant to you.
Yeah. Now, mind you, this is not. I mean, I don't know him that well, but from what I've known, I practically grew up with him because
a lot of
Well, he
everybody
create-
knows if you buy comic books, that was that age where you bought a comic book. This was before cartoons. This was before the movies. Everything was the comic books.
Oh, you talking about I see what you're
Yeah.
saying, the cartoons that they have out now, like
Yeah,
yeah.
all that stuff. This man was the one. X-Men,
he did. He brought the
Spider-Man,
Avengers.
Fantastic
Yeah.
Four,
Yeah.
the Hulk.
Yeah.
He's either the creator or the co-creator.
Right.
I mean,
He started it all off with Spider-Man, right?
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man?
was his
Spider-Man
name.
was initially his
Yep,
start.
Spider-Man.
And
They
was
gave
went
him. I read
crazy.
they gave him credit for the Avengers too.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that guy was Marvel.
Well,
There's-
yeah, if you think about
you
it, huh?
can't-
Yeah, because Marvel without Stan Lee is not. Those
Those are the-
reality characters,
Those are the biggest players.
his biggest players.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stan Lee was his
The
normal people who turned into some
Right.
type of great character.
I'll let you get back to it, Tone. But my experience with him was, I didn't know who he was,
Stan Lee?
and no, I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
And truthfully, I never caught on until Black Panther. When I was watching, I was at the movie with Black Panther with my nephew,
Uh-huh.
and when he came on, and then that casino scene,
Yeah.
when he made his appearance, everybody started clapping. And I'm like, who the fuck is this?
Oh,
And my
no.
little nephew, like,
right.
he always shows up in the movie. He'd do a cameo
Yeah.
in the part of the movie. And I'm like, who is he? He said, he's the guy who, started all this and stuff. And I'm like, oh. So
Yeah.
then after that, I heard other people talking about it, and I don't know if I Googled it or I seen it somewhere
Yeah.
online where, that's the guy, and everybody loves.
Was it
He's
X Men for the first one he did it? I think it was X Men, wasn't it? What was it? One's like X Men. I think it
I
was.
mean, if it's he, I mean, that was his thing. He,
Yeah.
they put him in the cameos like Spider-Man cameos.
Yeah.
They started to put him in on all these Marvel things because
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
You guys
He's
would
the
not have
man.
this.
Without him. Yeah.
You would not have this thing. And you mind you, he started off this in the '60s
Yeah.
doing all this stuff. So for him, it was just, man, that's crazy. And mind you, I've never heard the guy's voice.
I don't think I have
I've
either.
never heard him until he started doing the introduction to. I'm going back. As far as I go, the first time I heard his voice and it stuck with me
Mhm.
was Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Uh-huh.
That cartoon that came on, and he would come on and early. It was Spider-Man, Firestar, and Iceman cartoon, and they were all buddies and shit. And that was the first time I heard that voice, and now if it's never left my memory. So every time I hear him, it's like, oh, that's Stan Lee, and it's for people that's comic book. I mean, that's all you've seen right there is Stan Lee. Stan Lee. It was the easiest name I could remember,
Mhm.
especially being all the comic creators was Stan Lee. Like DC, all that stuff, it didn't really stuck to me, and all the other comic books didn't really stuck to me. But when it came down to Stan Lee at the bottom of that page, I recognized who it was. And everything I could get of comics, that's what I got. So, rest in peace, Stan Lee, man.
Yeah.
This
Rest in
is,
peace, man. Rest in peace.
Damn.
A lot of great movies I watched for that man.
I don't know. I don't
good
know him
movies.
like. I don't know him like Tony knows him, but I do. I do realize that because of him. I mean, I don't know. Not just because of him, but he was a part of a reason. The reason why we have way better. I mean, the movies nowadays are just. They're just. I mean, you know how I feel about Marvel, Tony. Tony will tell you, I'm always talking about. I want every movie to be like. I want every movie to be colorful, bright, exciting, powerful.
Bright.
When it's not bright,
Yeah.
when it's not that, I'm like, I'm the first one to say I didn't like it because it ain't bright. Because it ain't.
That's Marvel for you, man.
Yeah, Marvel.
DC got to catch up.
They
DC
really
is
made it-
fucked.
They really made the movie just exciting, and they made it, with the theater making its changes, with the seats, with the everything that they did, the perfect movies to go see were Marvel movies.
Yeah.
So, and to me, like I said, I don't know Stan Lee like I don't have that same thing that Tony has with him, but I do realize that he was a part of something that made the movies that much more exciting. So I like
Yeah. He definitely left a legacy. That's for
I mean,
sure.
but he lived a long life too. So
Yeah, 95.
Yeah.
95, I
is-
mean,
yeah, it's a
damn.
good life.
Pretty-
95 is a
pretty
think
good
about it,
life.
he was 95, so he must have been 94 when he was in Black Panther.
Yeah.
So
I
think about
mean,
that's a 94-year-old making an appearance still. So it's
doing
it's,
cameos in his late 80s.
yeah, and I'm sure he's going to be in this next Avenger movie because they already filmed it.
Yeah, I hope
so.
they.
I'm sure they put him
fit
in
him
that.
in. Yeah, but yeah, it's too bad, man. But
Some more depressing news since we're all depressed right now. We can talk about these fires that's going on. California's on fire again.
That shit is crazy.
North and South.
Yeah, we
Both.
ends. In Sacramento was Saturday, man. Sacramento was
Couldn't,
Friday was bad too, wasn't it? Friday, yeah,
couldn't see shit.
Friday started that smoke coming in the afternoon.
yeah,
and
man.
you can smell it. And then Saturday was even worse.
Saturday was bad. We were out Saturday, shopping and stuff. And
Do you know what started that fire?
which one?
It's the one in
The one in Paradise. The one that started in
Paradise.
Paradise was a campfire.
Campfire. Damn.
Yeah, I don't know about the one down. I think that's what they said. A campfire.
It was at first it was like they thought it was some wires, but then they came down to thinking it was a campfire. They took out a whole town.
Yeah, Paradise. I've been to Paradise a lot. I used to have back in my younger days. I used to deliver for a glass company, and I used to drive up to Paradise every day. That was my route. I go up through Chico, and would hit Paradise, turn around, come back, and a lot of them houses up in Paradise, it's all in the woods. It's woods.
Yeah, it's
So
all
you would-
woodsy up there.
So
yeah.
you would like turn down like a little street and take you all back off in the woods, and there'd be a house sitting back there. So I could see if fire ever started, I could see how that could be a real problem for out there because it was that place is
Yeah.
made where everybody's in the woods.
Sure, I had folks calling me asking me, "Am I okay?" I'm like, yeah. Why? What's up?" And they were like, "Well,
Yeah,
they
'cause
said you're
LA
on fire."
Because was it?
I was like, "Yeah, it's
That's really north.
it's close, but far enough."
Well, remember you got northern, like I say, you got Paradise up there, and then you got Calabasas or whatever down low, that's on fire, and you got
Near
down
Malibu.
there. Down there, you got Miley Cyrus. She lost her house.
Gerard Butler.
Caitlyn Jenner lost her house. Lost her.
Her.
Is her?
Her.
Yeah, whatever. She lost her house.
Come on now.
I'm just trying to be PC, man.
Okay.
It's her.
It's her. I said Caitlyn. I didn't say.
Yeah, you said a girl's name.
What's his name before that?
Mama, call him Bruce.
I can't. Bruce. Bruce Jenner. But yeah, so he lost. They lost their house, and I heard the people the man we ain't supposed to mention no more. I heard he hired his own private
Personal firefighters.
firefighters to fight his house, and supposedly
Shut the fuck up.
yeah, supposedly they also saved a couple other houses around there too. It wasn't just his house. They fought.
That's
some
what I heard
around
too.
What the fuck?
Kanye West.
I got
I
that
mean,
money.
if you got
Got
it,
that money off duty? Yeah.
come on now. If you had the money to protect your own shit,
He lives in Chicago. What's he worried about?
you don't.
Man, that lie
Yeah,
you
right.
told. Yeah.
Right.
That's the lie you
You
told
see
me.
what I'm
That nigga-
saying?
that nigga
Yeah,
living
that
in LA.
motherfucker ain't living in Chicago.
Who the fuck wants to? If you got a choice between living in Calabasas and Chicago, where you gonna live?
I'm living in Calabasas.
We all living in Calabasas.
Shit. Who ain't?
With the naked women walking around and it's sunny.
I'm living
It's
in
sunny
Calabasas.
360 days a year.
There's a cop for every 3 person.
Man, please, we all living there. Ain't nobody.
Hey,
fucking
you know what's
living
funny
in
about
Fuck,
that?
I wanna go to
What's
Chicago.
funny
No.
about that? That's probably
No
one of the
shade.
only places you could be black and be walking in Calabasas. They don't stop you. They probably like he got to have some money because he walking around this motherfucker.
Bullshit. They'll stop your ass.
Yeah, if it's a
He
new
walking in this
recruit-
motherfucker. He got some money
They'll
because he can
stop
get
your
to the
ass.
gate.
Man,
You walking. First of all, if you walking through, I guarantee they stop your ass.
Eric, if they walking through there, them motherfuckers just probably need to
now
be
wait a
there.
minute.
Bullshit.
Wait a minute.
They
Hold on,
probably
hold on.
walking around like,
Wait a minute.
oh
They
shit,
did
I own this shit. I own
the
that
security guard to T.I.'s neighborhood stopped
Exactly.
that motherfucker. He's T.I. You
And
trying
he-
to tell me you don't know
And he
the
live in the
resident?
neighborhood.
He lived in that gated community. They stopped him, and he was just like, "I live here."
The only people who ain't getting stopped in that neighborhood is Kanye West, and I heard Drake got a house around the corner.
shit.
Calabasas, they got who was that? Justin Bieber. All them folks got.
But you talking about
I
black? I'm
guarantee
talking about black
you-
folks.
black.
I'm talking black folks. I guarantee you, if you walking in that neighborhood, the motherfuckers know who you is. They already done did the background check. They know everything.
Kev, I guarantee you, if you black and walking through that neighborhood, because you got to remember what you said at first.
They ain't gonna stop him because he can't get. He couldn't even get in the gate. Eric, how the fuck
you
gonna
can
the
get
gate?
in the gate.
Who you talking about now?
In
In
Cali-
Calabasas, you can't. First of all, it ain't even like that. You can drive over there. You can't get through their gate, but you can get to the. You can get up to their land.
Damn, that's some shit.
I
didn't know
got a-
you
I
could go
got
to
a-
their land.
I got a feeling.
Yeah, I
they
don't
ain't
think
gonna
it's
even get
like
close
what you
to that
think. 'Cause
land.
like
Oh,
with
I
Jay
thought it
Z.
was- I thought it was like
No, you
yeah,
can
gated.
get to it. You
I
remember
thought
when
that-
Kanye? Do you remember when Kanye tore up his car, pulling up out of the? They had the video of him pulling up out of the video. I mean, pulling up out of. I'm sorry, they had a video of him pulling up out of the driveway, and he somehow hit the thing, and he's pulling up out of his Ferrari or whatever.
Nah.
You can walk right up to the gates of their house. You can. They have fences. They have gates to their house, so you can see that house that Jay-Z and them was trying to. I don't know if they actually bought it or they didn't buy one with the helicopter that was they had their own helicopter pad and
They had a
everything.
helipad?
I think
Yeah.
they bought.
Damn.
They bought
So-
a house down there, but I don't know if it's.
And
Calabasas.
it had its own helicopter pad and everything. I have pictures on my phone because that's the house that when we were down there for that basketball tournament, when we were down there, we actually went right up to the house. The only thing that's keeping us from actually being at the front door is
Is
they
the
got a
gate?
wall. They got
They
a
got a-
wall around it.
Oh shit!
So
I
you
know
can
that.
drive. You can drive
Oh,
through
okay.
You can drive all through the neighborhood if you want to, You just say you see the house, you can't see everything,
It's
but you
just
can
back
see the
like
house.
400 or 500 feet.
No, it's not even like that.
Oh.
The wall is like some of these houses. A lot of these houses, the wall is like where your sidewalk is up there.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, you can't get past that wall because these houses are still there's hella houses in this area. The backside of it was hills, so if you go around to the backside, it's a drop off and it's hills. But on the front side, them damn, now mind you, this is we talking about in L.A. When you talk about people who live out like in Atlanta and stuff, those people who are buying houses out there, they got property. They got acreage where you can't, their house, they got a gate with a long ass driveway. But when you're talking about right there where a lot of them stars stay at, right, like Beverly Hills and all them places, the houses ain't that far apart from each other. And the streets, everybody's driving down them streets. Everybody, and they tell you, have you been on that? You ain't been on that tour?
The Hollywood Tours?
Yeah.
Nah, I never did that.
They tell you right there, this is where Sylvester Stallone lives. And you look over there and the house is right there. The only thing that's stopping you from being able to see everything is they have them big walls around it. So you can see like the top of the house, but you can't see like what's going on until the gate opens and then you see the driveway, you see the cars and stuff like that.
Shit, you watch the news right now, all they show is the fly over that neighborhood. All those fires, man. That's crazy, bruh.
And
That
like
is
like I say,
crazy.
some stars got some of that acreage and stuff, but a lot of them people that's right down there in the middle of stuff like that house that I'll show you when we get off. That house that Beyonce and Jay-Z was going to buy if they bought it. I don't know if they bought that one or not. That house was that house was bad, but you could see it from the street. And we all was driving down the street and stuff. We was wondering because truthfully, it was the baddest house in the neighborhood. Because my wife was like, she kept saying, "Who the hell lives there? Who's living there?" And then we found out that it was still under construction, like somebody was still working on it and shit.
Build that shit. I need
But
to
yeah,
come in
man.
my landing pad right on top of
That motherfucker had
Helipad be right there. Her like shit.
driving. Who
Take
wants
me-
to put up with that LA
Hey,
traffic?
LA
Take me to the
traffic
grocery
is
store.
horrible.
Yeah,
dude.
fly. Shit.
LA traffic ain't no joke.
If you got it, you can skip all that
Have you
shit.
ever been stuck in that shit?
Yes.
That shit's fucked.
Mm.
Man,
Nope.
this is no joke. One time we went to we was taking the kids to Disneyland. This when they was hella young, and we hit LA. We came out of the grapevine
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Traffic stopped right there. I remember it was a Friday. It was probably about 2:00. So we came out of the grapevine. Let me get one tone. We came out of the grapevine, and it had to be like I'm thinking 1 or 2 o'clock. And when we got to Disneyland, bruh, I think it was something like, no joke, like damn near 6 o'clock. It took us like 4 or 5 hours to get from one side of LA to the other side of LA because of traffic. It took us almost as long to get to LA than it did us to get across LA to the other side of LA.
Yeah, because it's bad when you fly over, you about to land, and all you see is just rows and rows of red lights, and that's LA traffic, and that's like
Yeah,
10 at night.
I've been in that shit so many times.
I tell you the truth, I haven't been on it.
I've been
I
in
don't
that
go
shit.
down
That
there.
shit sucks, bro.
I do not go on there.
That
Yeah,
shit
I've been in.
sucks.
I'm with Eric. I've been in that shit like locked up for hours. Like, fuck. Why'd we come at this time? So I try to hit LA in the middle of the night, and it's still traffic. Whenever I go,
Shit, we're going from one bad thing to another. But get this out the way, and then whatever y'all want to talk about and stuff. But we had the another mass shooting in Thousand Oaks, was it?
Yeah.
Colonel?
Yeah, Thousand Oaks. There's a
So
country club.
yeah, and it had a lot of young people in there. Some of them, I guess, had students from like Pepperdine. And matter of fact, one of them was the twins' niece or something. You saw that?
they're married.
Yeah, them two twins that used to be.
Yeah.
But then when she went to Pepperdine, and that's why I guess that's one of the hangouts some of them kids go to. But I saw a thing online where it said that we've had 304 mass shootings this year.
Woo!
And so
Shit.
they put out the list. And so the list, of course, it does. I mean, to make it
300. Wait a minute. Let me back up on that. 304 mass shootings or 304
this
people died.
no 304 mass shootings this year. Now,
Damn.
I was going to say what qualifies that as a mass shooting. They had low numbers, so there was some like four
Yeah.
people shot,
Yeah.
and they considered that a mass shooting.
Yeah.
But still, 304 mass shootings, and we're at 313 days into 208. I'm sorry, 304 mass shootings this year, and we're at, at the time of this, it was 313 days into 2018.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's all in a year.
So my question to you guys, so you guys can speak on it, and I want to don't.
Shit. That hurts.
I'll put this out there. I'll put this out there to you guys because I want you guys to answer honestly
Yeah.
and not what you think sounds cool or what you think people want to hear and shit.
Okay. Damn. That shit hurts.
With that information, what do you think? How do you feel about gun control?
Me, on the real,
Yeah, you go ahead, kid.
because I'm probably the one that knows the least about guns.
First of
and
all,
deals with
do you own a gun?
not anymore.
Okay, go ahead.
And the way I owned it, I didn't like it, so I got rid of it. So you know what I'm saying. The fact is this: I don't know if gun control will even stop the problem because if you shooting people, you probably got it illegally anyway. You know what I mean? But my thing about guns, then we need to find a better way to regulate, a better way to control how people get guns. And I don't know, since most criminals get them illegally or so, I don't think you can even buy a AK-47 or automatic weapon or semi-automatic weapon from the store, can you?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna stop you right there for a
Depends on what
second.
state.
Yeah.
I'll stop you right there for a second because most mass shootings,
Uh-huh.
they're not being done by that person that you thinking. The person that like the gangster or whatever, that the person that's getting their weapons illegally and stuff.
Mhm.
Those type of shootings are usually the one shooting. They're shooting somebody. They're going after somebody.
Yeah, they got an enemy.
Or
They want to get them.
It was a fight.
Yeah.
It was a fight that went wrong
Yeah.
or whatever, and they fought. Most mass shootings, unfortunately, are guys that know all about guns, who have guns legally.
Legally.
They got all kind of ammo. A lot of them, they know all about guns, and unfortunately, a lot of them are ex military
So,
people, like the Thousand Oaks. So when you say that, that's not all the way true, because a lot of times when you talk about mass shootings, there are people who's got their weapons.
He just
That's
had
what I- that's what I'm
he just
saying,
had an
though.
exted
But-
a magazine. That's
But what I was saying,
You
That's
talking about
funny.
the dude in Thousand Oaks?
Yeah,
and
he
he
had
was
an
and
extended
he's an
magazine.
ex-marine.
yeah, he was ex-marine.
maybe you didn't hear the part when I said we need to figure out a better way to.
No, I heard that part, but
Because
I,
I
just wanted
don't
to clear
know.
that first
That's what I
part
said.
up.
I'm not. Yeah, the first part was like I don't think it's the people. I even said this. I don't think it's about the gun control. Even though you say, they're getting them legally. I'm saying we need a better way of selling guns.
But that's a part of gun control.
I understand that, but I'm just saying I don't know. I mean, shoot, if you come out in the military, I know a lot of people who come out of the military. It's very difficult to get a gun from the military, right? You can just take it. So how are they? Even though they know so much,
So they're not taking guns from the
they're
military.
going, they're buying them at these gun
They're-
shows, and they're going to buy them at
They're
the
just
stores
buying
and
guns,
buying
and
massive
because
guns.
you were because
Yeah.
I say because we were in the military.
Yeah,
We just know how to use a weapon and stuff.
Right,
We know
right.
how to we know how to use a weapon, and we have I don't know if it's an interest. I don't have a big interest in
Yeah.
weapons, but what I'm saying is that the majority of these people that are doing mass shootings, they aren't people who are illegally you know what, the most gun people
uh-huh.
that's real. I mean, and I know a couple of gun peoples. They do have some illegal guns, and they have a lot of legal guns. They buy both, but
Yeah.
at the same time, but they're not doing this with guns that they buying off the street and stuff. Most people are buying these guns legally.
When you think about Columbine and these
That's
kids
all
and all
legal.
those,
That's all
you
legal.
think about their parents own the guns, and the kids would go get the guns from the parents, and the parents probably showed them how to use the guns and whatever. You think of all those different things. I'm just like, is there something that we should have more gun police? I don't know. I don't know much about guns. I'm just asking y'all. It's like, okay, you owner of a gun, so you need to bring your guns in every so often to be regulated, or somebody needs to inspect your gun. I don't know what happens. I just know right now it just seems like every time I turn on the damn TV or read the paper, somebody getting shot. Simple as that. And I don't know how you fix that, or is it just a sign of the times, or is it just because of the way the environment has gradually changed over the last 20 years? You know what I mean? Is this just something that just keeps happening? A person can't deal with criticism, or can't deal with rejection, or can't deal with social media, because social media has definitely put a different twist on humiliation, you know. So maybe these people are just all pissed off and just can't deal with all the stuff that's going on in their life. Maybe we need to look at that. I don't know. This shit is crazy, though. I know that much.
Yeah, but most of it's state to state anyway.
Yeah.
It's all state to state.
I mean, every rule owning the gun is state to state. I mean, you could like, you spill some shit again.
Every show, this nigga.
I did not
he
spill
spills
anything.
Now it's your turn, not mine. But I mean, you wanna buy a gun for protection.
Yeah.
Because the bad guys are gonna have it. By all means, knock yourself out. But
because the bad guys
are gonna have them.
are going to have them. Okay.
Right.
So to make
'Cause when
yourself,
they-
to
yeah.
have an even playing field,
Yeah.
you know.
So when they come, whatever they doing, you know, if they coming with the illegal guns and you got your legal gun, if you need to protect yourself, by all means, is your Second Amendment right. Knock yourself out. But at the same time, man, it's not so much the gun, man. It's the people. It's the person that owns it. There's too many people for you to evaluate to figure out if is he going to be the guy that has an issue or something, you know, that has a gun and he's going to go and just do a mass shooting. Who knows, man? Who knows?
So
It's a hard one. I'm with you on Tony.
so I'm taking that both of you guys are against gun control.
I think I'm not against gun control. I mean, I believe that the second, I think it's the Second Amendment, which is the right to bear arms, right?
Yeah.
I think when they decided to create that back when you was out there hunting squirrels and shit.
It wasn't even hunting. This is way back.
I don't know what the fuck they was doing
This
back.
is way back.
Way back
Cowboys
when
and
they decided that you needed to bear arms, have the right to have a gun. It was a different
During
society.
the Constitution.
Right? It's a different society. Nowadays,
Cowboys.
we
hunting.
I don't
This
know
is
what the
way
hell.
back with Thomas Jefferson and all them cats. This is way back.
So
No,
that's even more so they was hunting for food, right?
This is damn near
But you got to remember what.
damn near Revolutionary War. This
What I'm saying,
Constitution.
Eric made
Now-
it seem like they were hunting for food. They was really
No,
got
I'm
a
not
gun. They
saying.
was
But
really
what I'm
hunting. They was-
saying, what I'm saying is, of course, that people were hunting for food.
Yeah.
But you made it seem like it was recreational. What I'm saying is that, you know, after the Constitution, we had the Wild West,
Yeah.
everybody
and-
was packing.
and it
Motherfuckers
was
get
it
shot
was
in the
legal.
saloon.
It was legal
Yeah.
for you to shoot somebody who caused you, you know,
Yeah.
any kind of
Yeah.
who was aggressive towards you, or you know, for protection.
Yeah.
It was like for protection. But my opinion on the whole thing is that no matter how you feel about gun control, and I forgot to ask you, Tony, do you own a gun?
No, I own a gun. I would like to.
So I own a gun, and I'm not a big gun person. I don't go to the range and do all that. But I just feel like there's something to gun control. And the reason why I say that is because we've had all this stuff happening. And I know Tony and Kev agreed. They said that it has a lot to do with the shooter. and not so much the gun, which is right. But you have to take into consideration that there's every country in this world that doesn't have the same issues that we have with guns. When you look at England, I mean, we ain't got to name countries. Just every country, every country.
A few of them that don't allow you to have a gun, right?
In England don't have guns.
They don't have guns.
They have guns, yeah.
Exactly.
There's
Gun.
certain-
So there you go. Gun
certain amount
control.
have it, yeah.
We have the worst. We have the worst gun control. I mean, the gun issue. We have the worst gun issue
course.
in the world.
Yeah.
So what is it about Americans that guns is such a big problem? What is it about our nation that's just having such a big problem with guns? And that's what kind of opens me up to gun control, because I feel like these other countries have issues. You can't just be walking around with a gun. You can't do it. America is the only place where you can actually carry a gun and shit.
Yeah, pretty much. Over
So-
there, it's just for what, hunting?
Over no,
military?
not even that. I mean, you gotta go through hell to get a gun in in them countries. So, I mean, I'm not saying you can't have one, but you go through hell to get them. Here, like, you remember for a long time, maybe the big thing, you could go to Walmart and buy a gun.
Yep.
So, I mean, so what's how you solve it? I don't know, but I believe gun control is the start of all that. We need gun control. I don't know what
Stronger.
I don't know how long. I don't know how far they go into it. What they say we can do and can't do. I don't know what the. I'm not just for guns being outlawed. You know, I guess there's a place for guns. I'm not a gun person, but if I was, I would want to be able to buy my gun for sport or whatever I do. I mean, shit, it's a fucking Olympic event. Skeet shooting and shit. They
It just protection by all means, man. But I don't know. I mean, this is another one. If you damn if you do, damn if you don't. It's one of those things where it's like, if you want to get rid of them, that's fine. I'll be happy. But then again, if you got them, shit, the day's gonna come where I'll be like, shit, I wish I had a gun that day. But I don't live that life till I got to worry about it.
Okay, I bought a gun for protection, right? And truthfully, I mean, I hope the day never comes that I have to go get the gun out,
Right.
to protect. But truthfully, in the times that I felt like maybe I needed a gun or whatever, I mean, mind you, I ain't never probably felt like that, but I guess maybe I'm getting in an argument with somebody in the parking lot. I'm getting argued. I ain't got my damn gun. My gun's sitting, put up at home. So the only time I'm ever gonna use that gun, I mean, and I'm hoping I'm able to use it, is if somebody breaks into my house and, I have some type of protection. There. But I've never used a gun. I pray that I never have to use the gun. But I really don't think that guns are as important as people put. I mean, yeah, you want them for protection, but I mean, do we really? How many? I'm not saying there's not a time that we need them, but how many people actually are in a situation where the gun is what they need?
It's not many.
People might say, okay, in these mass shootings, if somebody would have had a gun, you remember that because Donald Trump thinks that we should have teachers with guns. We should have security guards with guns. And if we had those type of people into schools or in these areas when this happens, then maybe somebody could take out the shooter. But
what if it's okay, let me get this out. I'm tripping for a second. Let me ask you a question. What if the motherfucker who shoots is the person who's supposed to protect you? Say, I'm the security guard, I'm the one with the gun, then I start shooting motherfuckers.
I mean, I'm sure that's happened. I'm sure that the person with the
Why
gun
would you say that?
has snapped because the vetting isn't
Yeah,
isn't
you
up
gotta
to
like you gotta vet, man. You gotta vet.
the problem with putting too many guns in too many people's hands is that, especially in areas like schools and stuff, is if you do have people who are how we say it, they're just bad people.
Hmm.
They have access to a gun because
That's
that
what I'm thinking.
security guard sitting over there with a gun, is he really going to shoot a kid? He's not there to shoot a kid. But if the kids decide that we need that gun, 5 or 6 of them, bum rush the security guard, take his gun. Now there's a gun on campus.
Yep. Now you got
So
access to it.
So that kind of stuff can happen. You got to watch the same way the reason why like on a plane or something
You
like
can
that.
do
You
that
don't.
with a cop too. So
Yeah,
You're
but
right,
yeah.
but the difference is,
that's why cops don't like people standing behind them.
but the difference is a cop is, unfortunately, and we all see this. The cop is ready to shoot.
Hmm.
Security guard ain't looking for the kids to shoot. A cop's ready to shoot everybody. Everybody looks suspicious. They ready to shoot. Think about it. How many motherfuckers are they shooting that's reaching for their wallet with their cell phone, with their other stuff? They shoot. Security officers at a school ain't looking that same thing.
It's
Do
funny
you-
you said that because a policeman just shot a security guard at a
That
bar in
was
Chicago.
stuff. Yeah, I seen that.
What the fuck?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Because he was armed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's called the security guard.
So
That's what I'm saying.
So
So,
you
police
think-
so police shoot.
Yeah.
Police shoot. As a security guard, even if I was a security guard with the permit to carry, I still would hesitate on shooting somebody, because as a black man shooting somebody, even if I'm a security guard, you ain't a policeman. So I would still be afraid that they will figure out some way that I shouldn't have been shooting and I'll be in jail the rest of my life.
do you believe in metal detectors?
Do I believe in them?
Yeah. Do you think
Fuck
that's
yeah,
a
I
good
believe
thing?
in them.
So-
Hell yeah, every time I
so-
go to the airport,
But I'm saying, as a school, do you think the school should be having more of those, or
Shit, why not?
I mean, I don't have no,
It's
I don't have
deterrent,
no,
Don't you think? It's
I
like
don't
a
have no
deterrent.
issues with them, but we're blessed where we live at.
Yeah.
We're blessed where we live at, where, man, I knock on wood, we don't, our kids aren't in that atmosphere.
Right.
They go to schools where, and unfortunately, shit, a lot of them schools
Their
are the ones that have,
schools-
Hey,
they're
yeah,
the
high
ones that have
schools
the
got 'em
issues.
already.
but you know the funny part, the
I'm
ghetto
not naive
schools are
to
not
it.
having mass killings usually. You know what I mean?
You're right. You're
That's
right.
the crazy part.
It's just not so much of that. It's so much of bringing a weapon in the school. Period. You know what I mean? It's not so much that. It's just there's gang members in that in school and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. So it's one of those
See-
things where you just these high schools. That's what I don't get. High schools in certain states they've had it for years now.
The difference is,
Yeah.
The difference
right,
is, and it falls under the same thing as what I was trying to say earlier when Kev was talking about when he was, I forgot what he said, but what I'm saying, the difference is that, when he was talking about whether the guns were illegal or not.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference, like I say again, when you talk about the bad neighborhoods or the bad schools and stuff, and Tony just said how they've been around forever. The difference is that a lot of times those same kids, don't get me wrong, them kids, they shooting, the crime is there. They just not mass shooting.
Mm-hmm.
It's always about an incident. It's about something. There's something happened. We got into it. Whether you fucked with my girl, or we had a disagreement shooting craps, whatever it was, it's an issue, and I got an issue with that person. So if the shooting happens, it's about having a shooting with that person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the difference. That's the difference. Where the mass shooting, they're going in there with the intention of killing
Yeah,
as many people as they can kill.
Yeah.
And where the bad neighborhoods or the bad schools or whatever we talking about, the gang members and stuff, that person's not trying to just kill as many people as they can kill. He got an issue with Tony. So all I want is Tony.
Yeah, but the issue with that is my kid is not going to a school where they just
Well, you don't know that though.
no, I don't. And obviously, I know the high school that my kid is going to, and if they're not, I mean, the most they do, well, like Eric said, that we happen to live in an area where they don't do that, but they do
So
have
far, knock on
campus
wood.
police. Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. We got knock on wood.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
my
We have
kid, is,
sheriff.
yeah,
We
we
have
have campus police, but at the same time,
and they're real policemen. They're
yeah,
not like
I
Yeah.
pray that nobody has to go to the extent, but to prevent it, by all means, get those metal detectors. But it ain't gonna change because that's
Yeah.
it's
Well, we actually go. Me and Kevin's kids actually went to a high school that actually, because we're right here in the suburbs, we border with a lot of the country, a lot of the country kids, and a lot of these and we see them. They drive these big old trucks. They drive these big old trucks. They and me being from the country, me being raised in Oklahoma, I know that we were we were taught they were taught to hunt. They a lot of my friends, a lot of my boys I hung around with, they had rifles.
right.
The parents bought them rifles to hunt and bought them stuff to do. So
Yeah.
so they, and I know that where we live at, that a lot of these kids probably live the same type of life. They live out in the country, and I'm sure they have rifles and stuff. They have all that access to that stuff. So if they want to bring them on campus, it's as easy as putting them in their truck, driving them to school, and then going in there and doing what they have to do. So metal detectors, I do see, a They do serve a purpose, but they also set a certain type of atmosphere.
I mean, I'd rather have the atmosphere than the motherfucking kids coming in with guns.
But atmosphere does affect people.
Well, I mean, I think that I'll go back to the social
It
media
does.
thing. Things have definitely changed dramatically. I mean, you think about when we was in high school. It
Go
was
back,
bad.
but
It was
before
it
you-
was bad. It was bad when you and I could sit with a bunch of friends and talk crazy about each other, right? Think about that. We all be laughing. You say you come in with the wrong gear on, whatever day, or whatever's going on. We just get on you. Now they can have you to the world with a picture, video, post it live, talking about you. Peer pressure. Living in that time, kids on each other. This could be something that lives on for infamy. I mean, it could just go on forever now. Those kids are snapping, man. Those kids are going crazy over
But it's.
high school pressure.
I don't feel like it's no different. Go ahead. I mean, were you gonna say something, Tone?
No, go
Okay.
ahead.
I don't feel like I don't feel. I know what you're saying, and I do. I do see the difference, but what I'm saying is that, and maybe this is me as an adult looking at it. I just feel like you understand when people are posting stuff. Yeah, it can get to a lot more people, but as a kid, the people who make the difference to you are your peers that's around you. So yeah, it sucks that 80,000 people know that whatever it is that you're
You got ripped drawers on.
okay. You got ripped draws on, as he said.
Yeah.
80,000 kids know.
Holes in your
But
shoes.
but truthfully, do I care that 80,000 kids know, or do I care about the 30 that are around me that I deal with every day, that I got to deal with in my
Yeah,
class,
yeah,
or
yeah.
I got to go walk through, the people I got to see eye to eye. The people that's out there in the world, I might not ever see them. It's like a perfect example is, I don't care if I say something right now that offends people.
Mhm.
I could give a shit about that person in Kansas that's offended, because I'm never gonna see that person. I never had to come eye to eye with that person.
Uh-huh.
Now, those same people that's offended, if they happen to work with me, or they happen to be a family member, somebody that I got to deal with, those are the people that's gonna give me anxiety about. I gotta go see them people. I said something.
Well-
So what I'm saying by that is that I understand the difference between now and then,
Mhm.
but what I'm trying to say is that that when the the difference isn't really because you were saying that when we were young
Yeah,
and
when
people
kids.
would like we talk about you could
Yeah,
talk about
we
something.
talk about each other. Yeah, it's casing, bagging, whatever you want to call it. Jones,
Yeah,
whatever you want to call it.
we called it charging.
Charging.
When you
Yep.
charging on somebody, the difference is that we all heard the
Hmm.
stories of charging going too far.
Yeah. Yeah.
And whether it was somebody who got charged on, bagged on, or whatever you want to put it,
Hmm.
and he just socked the dude.
Hmm.
I've heard it all the way from that level
Hmm.
to somebody pulling out a gun
Hmm.
because they
Me
just
too.
don't have that sense of humor.
They don't got it.
I've heard it from that level to that level. So
Yep.
what I'm saying is that's the difference. It happened then that way, just like it happens now with somebody posting some shit and them not being able to deal with it. It happened when we were young.
But true to what you just said is the difference is to me is that when we were doing it, Tone might hear about it. Oh, Kev, I heard Eric got on you, man. He let you have it. We laugh, blah, blah, blah. Now, if a person videotapes it or whatever, you got to relive that every time they show it. They get extra. They actually seeing
But
it
I actually
and going
yeah.
off of it, and that would drive them more crazy to say, I
Yeah,
can
in
see
that
it.
case,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
you're right.
Yeah.
But I think that those cases where you're thinking like if something goes viral or something, I think
Yeah.
those cases are very few.
Yeah,
I
that's
think the majority of the kids, and you're right. You're right to a point. If something happens embarrassing to a kid, and somebody posts it, yeah, you're right. Everybody in the school might see it.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Right.
back in the day, only 10 of us seen it.
And
And then we just tell everybody, somebody's telling everybody.
Yeah,
And so it is a little different.
yeah.
So I do agree with you on that. But I still think that there was a form of danger then,
Yeah.
just like there is now.
Definitely.
But maybe what you said, maybe it's just not as but just like I bring the nerd in. Tony, just like what he said.
Oh man.
Just like what is it, like dinosaurs or whatever, or even human beings, they adapt as things change, as the
Evolution.
world, exactly, everybody changes. So I do
Right.
think that kids have adapted to be able to take maybe more than when it comes to that kind of thing.
Hopefully, yeah.
More because somebody like us back then, if you would have showed a video of us back then to everybody in the world, we might have snapped. To a kid now,
It's normal to post videos.
that's it's normal to
Yeah.
post something. It's normal. It's more normal. So they might be able to deal with it a little more than somebody like us from our.
That's- I don't know. That's weird because they always talk about how the generation now is just they're they use the term of being a little bit too weak or too sensitive.
Soft.
Yeah,
Well,
soft
they got a large
because.
expectation too.
But see,
Do you believe that?
yeah, I do.
yeah.
Okay, you
there's-
said it quick.
Yeah.
So do
yeah,
you believe it?
because
I hire a
it's
lot of
kind of like
youngsters.
Nigga, we already asked you. You said it's quick. Now I'm asking Tony.
Hey,
Do
yeah,
you
because
God damn, there you go
nigga.
again. I just said
All right,
shut the
go
fuck
ahead.
up, nigga.
Fuck you, buddy.
Tone, could you answer the question for me, bro? Do you believe that? Do you believe that the generation now is soft?
Yeah.
You do believe it too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speak, motherfucker.
Go and say yeah. Say yeah.
Well, unlike Kevin, I'm thinking my answer. I'm thinking about what to say because I don't want to make it just because everybody always has something bad to say about the other
It's a good
generation.
generation. This is a good generation of kids. Don't you like them?
Everybody always has something good to say. What you mean you don't like them?
Nigga, why I get the fucked up look and he get the, what you mean you don't like them?
Oh, I shake my head.
I was about to go in on him until you're loud. Your ass still won't shut up. This fucker will not shut up for nothing. So,
Nigga, you play this show back, you gonna feel that you did all the damn talking.
well, I'm supposed to. This is the Eric show.
I'm gonna cut your mic the fuck off in a minute.
Should I just take off? Let me know what you're doing.
Go ahead, answer, Eric.
What's I gonna answer? No, I'm trying to think how I feel about this generation. Because this generation, bruh, are they soft? They seem okay. I'm like this. They seem
Come on.
soft.
No,
They
no,
seem soft, but
Man.
there's certain things that they can do. There's certain things that they can handle that I don't know if I could handle when I was a kid.
But they have
They're
an
so open.
expectation.
They're so open. You got to remember, when we were a kid, if somebody found out something like Tony was jacking off, nigga, you
That
crawl
was
up in the
embarrassing.
hole. You would be embarrassed. Like,
That embarrassing.
these motherfuckers are jack off on the screen now. Like
Yeah, no
come
problem.
see my show, they be
problem.
talking to you while
But
they
that's
jacking
because
off.
they feel entitled. These motherfuckers feel like
Entitled to
entitled
beating
to
off?
jack off?
Hold on. Let me
Come
say
on,
this to you. Let me
think
say
about
this
what
to
you're saying.
Look,
I
before
feel
you say
entitled
it,
right
Tone.
now at my age.
Hold on. Let me make sure I
don't
explain
jack
this.
off right now, Tone.
Let me explain
my
this
bad.
to you.
Let
So
me
you
put it
make sure
back
you
in.
understand what I mean by feel entitled. They feel like treat me with respect. I'm gonna
Wait.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Kev.
I have my
Kev, I know what you're about to say, and I'm gonna give you a chance to say that, but I
Right,
really believe that has nothing to do with jacking off online.
I said they feel entitled.
Okay, but what you're about to say, you're going into a whole nother topic about what they feel entitled to. What I'm saying is they're not shamed by a lot of different.
Yeah, because they feel like they're adults.
So it's not being an adult, because as an adult 20 years ago, you still would have felt shamed
I would
about
feel
jacking
shamed
off.
and ashamed,
Somebody
yeah.
found now there's certain things that they can deal with, that even homosexuality, which
They
was
feel
something
that's
that
the
we
norm though.
now
We used to like, oh shit.
they
you know,
can deal with
motherfuckers
that
don't talk-
way
that's taboo.
better than
that's
we
a taboo
were able to
subject. We're
deal
not going to
with it.
talk about it.
It's
But-
more acceptable now
But
because
that's because of what we did as adults, as parents.
Wait a minute,
We
you're still a homophobic, so
Wait a minute,
we
wait
can
a
go
minute,
back.
hold
We
on,
can
hold
go
on.
back 5-6 shows ago,
Hold on.
and
What
we
I'm
can see
trying to
where you
say,
stand on this.
as
So
a
don't say
parent-
we,
all right,
nigga.
let's stick
As
to
a
the topic.
parent-
Let's stick to the topic.
Don't
as
say
a
we.
parent, as a parent, we have, and I
Here
say
we go.
we, I'm gonna say
Nigga
we,
French.
we have normalized a lot of things. It's okay to talk about sex, Timmy. It's okay to
No,
talk about.
is it we
this.
or is it them?
You don't talk about sex to your kids. My dad didn't talk
No,
about
I
sex
don't.
to me. We talked about sex to Kevin Jr. I had a talk with Kevin Jr.
Yeah, I don't have no boys.
Okay. And oh damn, I gotta edit my own kids out of this motherfucker. Hey,
What?
motherfucker, I gotta edit my own fucking kids out of this shit. Fuck you, Eric. Anyway,
They gonna blame it on me,
Yeah.
nigga. I didn't say your kid's name.
I know.
You
Man,
But I'm just saying.
Nah, edit that. You gotta edit all that shit now. Can I say something else you can edit? I'm gonna put your ass to work tonight, boy.
Wait.
Let me say something else for you to edit.
Shit? I'm gonna call the edge. Oh me.
Oh, but you gotta do the work though. But you gonna do the
We
work.
gotta do the work now.
I'm
Make
gonna
sure you
be
take it out.
reversing
Man,
this
that's
shit.
3.
Make sure you
Anyway,
take that shit out.
what I was trying to say about the kids is we talk to the kids and we allow them to do more. That's probably one of the problems we have with our kids. We didn't want them to grow up under all that shit that we grew up under. So we loosen the reins a little bit and let them do way more. So
How
now
does-
they feel like shit. I can talk to my mom and dad on a peer level. I can talk about sex. So I can talk about this and
I'm
that.
gonna ask you a personal question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, how does June feel about homosexuality? He think he's open to it, or
I
is
don't
he,
think he
or does
trips
he
on
take,
it.
or does he take your kind of?
doesn't. No, he doesn't. He's not. He doesn't take my approach to it because
Because
we
he has.
see it.
I know,
He don't
because I
talk-
know June,
He don't talk
right?
about it. He don't.
and
trip
so
on it like
I know
me.
that he has. I know he knows tons of gay people.
Yeah.
You know, I know he does because
we got a
same
friend.
friends. That's my
yeah,
daughter
yeah,
has.
yeah. We got a friend
So-
that tripped us out. I mean, I tripped on it. He just like, oh yeah, man, he go both ways. I was like, what?
You know, okay, we're not gonna go no further than that because
Oh boy.
the person I think you're talking about,
Yeah. This person you talking about?
yeah,
Yeah, let's
and,
leave it at that. Trip me out.
and you know what?
Just
leave
leave
it
it. Just leave it.
because I don't give you no more to edit.
Yeah,
Just leave it
yeah,
alone.
yeah. Just trip me out.
So so it's I just feel like there's certain things that the kids they might not be as tough, like as far, you know, the obvious thing that me and Kev always talk about is basketball all the time. So we watch basketball and we see how the rules and change for
Yeah.
football. Same thing with football.
Yeah, yeah,
You
The
ain't
rules-
being picked.
yeah.
No,
You're
no, no,
not
no,
being
no, no,
picked.
no,
You're
no.
not getting awards. You ain't doing all that shit.
Well, we not-
Everybody
we're
gets
not
it now.
We're
talking
not talking about
part.
that, but yeah,
That's another part
you're
of
right.
it.
That's a whole nother
That's a
part.
whole
You're right
nother
about
part.
that.
You're right about
the
that.
trophy for everybody, and that's
Yeah.
a little different.
Yeah,
But
bullshit.
I was just saying, we're talking about the rules of the game, how it's changed, and
Yeah.
how people used to get laid out and stuff like that when they came in the whole.
Soft as
But-
cream butter.
But on other stuff, which truly is probably more important, they're a little tougher on when dealing with social issues. When dealing with they're more about being themselves. They're more about the importance of of uh, of identifying themselves and being open to other people's identification. So I do think that they're tougher on different issues,
Mhm.
but as far as the meat and potatoes,
Mhm.
which we want to say is the tough part, the shit that we say is tough, they might not be as tough on that. But then our generation before us is going to tell us that we're not tough. They're going to say that we're not tough. So, I think it goes through
It's gonna
generations.
be always
like that.
it's always gonna be some generation gap or issue. So it's
I mean, well, I feel like I just feel like we don't, just like every generation before us, you don't give the generation after you don't give the generation after enough credit, and I just feel like sometimes that okay, just to put it, I feel like the generation after us. And I mean, this ain't even a generation after us, is it? I guess it would be a generation after. The generation after us, I think they're tougher than we give them credit for. And with saying that, I do understand where we do say they're not tough. I understand where they're not tough at, but then everything evolves. They're tougher in other things that we weren't tough at.
I guess I can agree with you there. I feel like they'll stand up for
And
themselves.
when he said evolution, that's what it is.
They'll
evolving.
stand up for themselves better than we stood up for ourselves. Like we accepted a lot of shit, and they
yes.
don't do that.
I think,
But-
and they, with that being said, real quick, I'll let you finish. They stand up for others.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we wouldn't do. There was times when I was a kid that you could see wrong being done, and you would just sit back and watch that happen.
Yeah.
Where now you see a lot of kids step up for people who are less and not able to, to stand up for themselves. And I've seen that through experience with my own kids, how they step up, they speak up for other kids that can't do the same. And there's always been certain people who did that.
yeah. I can
Yeah.
say there's people
Yeah.
that in our generation that
That
kinda
did that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying now is you see it a lot more.
Right.
And the thing is that it's almost like it's, for lack of a better word, it's almost cool to do it now. Where before, maybe not all our generation, but it was almost not cool to
What?
do. The cool thing was to sit back and not say nothing.
Yeah. When I say not as tough, I guess you would mean it's like you ever have an incident at work with you and a coworker get into it.
No.
I've had
I'm
that.
fucking
I've had that.
Yeah,
had that unpleasant
Don't
experience.
let me get into
I watch
it.
Tony get into it with people every day.
Don't let me
you get
into
you
it.
get into it with a coworker, and the younger generation, the older generation, if say me and Tony got into an argument, that's where the argument would go. Me and Tony would get into an argument. Tony say "fuck you," I say "fuck you." He go that way, I go this way. This generation is more apt to go to the office and want to talk to the HR. They're more apt to, I want something done about this. You know what I mean? A fight ensues at the school. You're gonna probably be
So you're
going into
saying
the-
they're more-
it's-
they-
yeah,
they're
they're gonna go
more-
to authority
to
to try
authorities.
to authority
They
to try
go
to
to
get
the
that
authorities.
whatever it is.
So
you know what I'm saying?
basically, what you're
that's
and
what
see
I
in our
find really weaker.
generation, our generation will consider that snitching,
Yeah, and they don't, they just take
And they-
it. That's
and
what I
they-
guess I'm saying.
and they do what they supposed to do.
Yeah, it's a generational thing. I mean, it's one of those things, and I'm the one that's called them soft. But at the same time, they were a lot more open minded than I was.
Okay.
Depending, because there was a lot of shit that I was supposed to do I ain't do. These people are like involved in shit. They involved in a lot of crap.
Yeah.
They like getting involved, and and to give them credit, you know how you get embarrassed and you're like, fuck. I gotta on this class and shit. This motherfucker see my dirty drawers and all that shit.
Yeah.
I
Motherfucker
gotta,
got it all on
I gotta wait.
Instagram.
Yeah, I was so miserable. I had to go. I said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna have to
They
take
actually
the
seen your
ridicule."
dirty drawers?
No, I'm just saying to use an example.
That's our example.
You want me to use the beat off example? No, but here they know that something else will come up,
Quick, yeah.
and by the time you know it is gone.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna be embarrassed for the next
Yeah.
freaking quarter.
I got
So
just by coincidence, we got into snitching, which brings me to a whole nother story.
Mhm.
And I meant to, I had talked to Tony about this, but I meant to mention it last week, and we ran out of time or whatever. I know we're getting to the end of this one, but snitching. I want you guys to give me your opinion on if this is snitching or not. So a couple of weeks ago, I'm sitting in the house. I think I'm watching. It was a Sunday. I'm watching football. I'm sitting on my couch. Nice day. One of them days where you should be out there, maybe have something on the grill. I got the windows kind of open, cracked and stuff. We in California, so we can do that all year round. I got the windows cracked. I'm watching football, sitting on the couch, and I hear some music. So I realize it's my neighbor next door, who I don't really know well because the guy that used to live there that I knew, the guy and his wife, the family that used to live there before them, they sold the house to these new people that I've never seen, but maybe once or twice. A lady supposedly bought it, and just from I found out that I guess she's renting out a room to a man that she knows from her hometown or whatever, right? So I don't really know the people. Talk to the guy maybe once before. And so I don't really know the guy. Never talked to the woman at all. So I hear the music coming from over there.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking to myself, nice day and stuff. And I can smell barbecue in there. I can smell the grill. So I'm thinking, they out there. It's a nice day. They out there grilling.
Right.
Everything's good. Got the music playing. Matter of fact, when I first noticed, it was blues. It was like old blues. And I was thinking to myself, damn, got the blues playing over there. That's what I'm talking about. I'll go there, have a couple drinks with him, and see what he cooking on that grill. But I sat on the couch. So about maybe 20 minutes later, I noticed that the music kind of changed to, I think it was some rap going on, right? So I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was some rap going. And I can hear a little bit of, like some movement now over there. I can hear like a little voices here and there, right? Can't really hear good. Then I noticed that like 20 minutes after that the music has switched to like country. Like, pure country. Not no hip hop country, pure country.
no Nelly.
Nah, I'm talking about that new country that they got out now that almost they use that new country. They got they use that thing T-Pain used and stuff.
No Garth Brooks, bro.
They got all that. This was real.
They out of tune in country.
Yes.
Yeah, they auto-tune.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's not that country. This was country. So I'm like, damn, me all over the place with it, but cool. A couple of minutes later, I heard hard rock. So I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Also, during this time, I'm starting to hear these, like I told you, things are waking up over there, so I'm hearing voices, right? So I'm like, whatever, I like different type. I'm one of them cats that like different types of music. I might not go that way that he went, but I love my 80s and stuff like that, and I got the stuff that I like, so I'm not knocking nobody's music.
Mhm.
I start noticing that all of a sudden I'm watching the game and I hear through the music, through the game, I hear something that like through it all, like like a yell, like and I'm like, it hits me like after I heard it, it took another few seconds for me to to figure out. I just heard like a yell or something, right? So I'm like, what was that? And so I kind of chill. I cut the TV down, so I can hear. I don't hear nothing. Then I hear it again. So I'm like, damn. And then their music cuts off. So I start hearing the guy that lives over there. He's yelling, and I don't know if he's talking to somebody or whatever, but he's saying crazy stuff. Like every word out of his mouth is should I say? Yeah, I mean I say nigga all the time, so I might as well say the opposite. He's saying Peckerwood, and he's like, fuck these Peckerwoods and da da da. I'm like, this is my neighborhood, right? And mind you, this guy, I think the lady who lives there, she like maybe she's Mexican, I guess. I don't know. He looks like he's mixed, like he's half black, maybe half white or whatever. So I'm hearing everything, all this racial shit coming out, but it's against white people, right? I hear honky. It's funny. Now
Damn.
this shit, real quick, just a good little sidestep. Real, my daughter upstairs can hear this too, right? She comes downstairs. My daughter in high school. She's in the 12th grade. She's a senior. She comes downstairs, Tony, and asks me, "Did you hear that?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "F all these honkies." I said, "I know." She said, "I swear to God," she said, "Dad, what's a honky?"
She got to watch.
Archie Bunker and Jefferson's.
Man, they gotta watch all
Oh
that
shit! She
I
need to watch
said,
some old shows.
I said, "Shut up." I said, "Shut up." And she says, "Dad, what's a honky?" I said, "You really don't know what a honky is?"
God bless her.
I know exactly.
That's great.
You're
That's
right.
great.
God bless
You're
her.
right.
Well,
And so, I said, well, I explained to her, the racial term for white people, and she's like, honky? I'm like, yeah. And then I had to explain to her what the other word I was saying, pecker. I had to explain to her what that was. And so she didn't think that peckerwood was. She's like, so peckerwood means white. I said, whoa, wait a minute. I said, you can't say that. She's like, you can't say. I said, that's like the N word. She said, Kevin,
I don't know what's going on with
You
you
know what?
today, man.
this motherfucker spills something every time.
hey, it's funny as shit because earlier when I knocked the beer over here, it's like, motherfucker, you spilled something.
God damn, this motherfucker always spilling stuff. Let me push on my story so I can get to the end. So anyway,
funny as shit.
I forget about all my daughter stuff. I
Okay,
explained
that's
to her all that stuff.
You explained
So
what it was.
I explained to her all this. Anyway, so we get back to it, and this guy, by now, he's outside yelling, and he's motherfuck this, motherfuck that. He said, "Fuck Obama," and he was like, damn, he all over the place, right? He fuck Obama, honky this, da da da. Then he said something about Trump, and he said, if anybody got something they want to, he's talking out loud to I guess he talking to people. Listen, nah, well that's what I thought. We're gonna find out with nobody there. So he's like, if anybody got any issues, with Trump or something like that, I'm right here. Come let me know. So we like, what's going on? This shit gets louder, louder, louder. Then I go upstairs, being the nosy neighbors that we are. From my upstairs, I can see in their backyard, right?
Mm.
So I'm upstairs with my daughter, and he in the backyard with like a machete. Yeah, big knife. And he's swinging the knife around and like stabbing a tree, keeps like going at a tree. There's this tree in his backyard, the tree. He keeps like hacking at and stuff, and he's like acting like he's kind of like martial arts, but drunk. You know what I mean? So I get the drunken monkey, whatever. I don't know what his style is, Tone. What is his
Shit.
style? What do you call that
he's
style?
Mixed, man. That's Bruce Leroy.
Ain't no damn.
Sure enough. So
Shit.
we're watching from upstairs, and by this time I'm kind of like, this is getting crazy.
This
Because when I
drunk
say,
motherfucker.
Kev, when I say he's loud. I mean, by this now we all in the house like this motherfucker went crazy.
All the neighbors ain't come out.
Yeah, neighbors are starting to look, but the
okay.
thing about it is, neighbors are looking. They don't know who it is because it's in the
They
backyard.
looking at your ass.
So they looking at my house. They like, who's the black dude on the street that was, because he's screaming out honky and stuff. Like, damn. So my neighbor's like, man, Eric lost it. He's really lost it. So I'm sitting in the house and I'm like, okay, I got a decision to make. Do I go knock on the door and say, hey, bro, you got to keep this down because I got family, I got kids and stuff. You scaring the kids, you acting hella crazy, da da da. Or do I call the police and have the cops come? Mind you, I ain't never called the police. I ain't never called the police for nothing. It's like, that's something you don't do.
That's how we grew up.
Call the police.
Yeah, you just go about your business.
I mean, I'm sure there's certain things where you would call the police, but this wouldn't be one of them.
Yeah, he's just over there drunk.
Some drunk dude or whatever, you wouldn't call the police. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking to myself, all right, what do I do? So I didn't do nothing. So now it gets like I say, it's been going on for like an hour now, and it's gotten louder, louder, louder. And now my wife is there. She's got her cousin over, and the cousin has a kid, over, and so everybody's in there like kind of acting scared and crazy, like this guy's crazy. And they like lock the doors and stuff, close the windows.
See.
So I'm thinking to
go to the
myself.
mall.
So I'm like, man, should I call the police? And I say it out loud, I'm thinking, should I call the police? And so my wife is like, yeah, you need to call the police. And I look at her, I'm like, I'm not calling the police. You call the police. So she sits there for a little bit, and then she finally, a couple more episodes of him screaming and stuff. She says, I'm calling the police. So she calls the police. Before I tell you the rest of the story, is that snitching?
No.
I think it gets to a point where the public, the noise and the nuisance that he's becoming has become a hazard to the kids and everything.
Exactly.
You
You got
probably
a
have to
family.
do something.
You have a family.
You probably have the right. You need to do something, and it's not your job to go over there and calm him the hell down. It's time for because first initially when they go over there, they're gonna ask him to calm it down. They're gonna say you in your house, you drunk, whatever. It ain't gonna be no big thing.
So
they're gonna shoot him.
So I think you do need to go.
He got a machete in his hand. They're gonna shoot him.
Now I don't know if that's snitching or not, but it's just when you shut up for after an hour and a half, you ain't shut the fuck up. It's time for something to be.
And it's right next door to my house.
Yeah. It's not so much snitching.
Nah, you're right.
But you lost the comforts of your own home when you gotta lock your doors.
Yeah.
Because of this motherfucker.
When you feel uncomfortable and you feel like it's unsafe, that some shit could happen.
I'm calling.
It's time for you to call the police.
I'm calling.
Yeah.
So
fucked up my day.
So
yeah,
she calls the police.
Mm-hmm.
She calls the police and she tells them, "Look, this crazy motherfucker next door, doing all this stuff. Da 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 da. By the way, we have to live here, so we want to stay anonymous. Please don't let the motherfucker know that it's us that called the police."
I don't think they're gonna tell them.
Well,
who called.
They're behind you.
Well, like I say, they come. We're watching out the window. We're all like this in the blinds, like
you told on your damn self.
watching out the window. No, by this time, the neighbors and everybody's out, so they don't know who it is. They come to the door. They knock on the door and stuff. This fucker won't come out the house.
Oh yeah.
So we're watching from the windows. We're the only ones not outside because it's happening right there, damn near in our front yard. So the police got their guns drawn, and they're like,
shit.
"You need to come out the house." He won't come out. So they tell him in 2 minutes, if you're not out here in 2 minutes, we're coming in. He's not coming out. So finally he starts yelling back out that he's got, he keeps just telling them different things he's got to do. They say, you need to come out. He'll say, I got to put my shoes on. I heard that. They said, put your shoes on, come out. Then he was like, I gotta call so-and-so and let him know that you need to come out. He wouldn't come out. So for like 15, 20 minutes, he wouldn't come out.
Oh, they gotta go in.
Yeah. So they're sitting out there with by the time, now mind you, he eventually came out. He came out and they sat him down on the sidewalk. By the time it's happened though, we had 5 police cars out there.
Damn.
The helicopter was going over the top to make sure.
They ain't fucking around.
The infrared ghetto bird.
Making,
They
they're making
illuminate
sure
his whole house.
nobody's coming out the back and
Yeah.
running over this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. They know
So
exactly
this
what's
is in the
going on.
daytime. I ain't don't need no infrared. This is
No,
the daytime.
they still do that. They when they
So-
put down on your house, they
so-
look through your whole house.
Remember that what's the word I use? Or anonymous, you know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Them fuckers must have knocked on our door 5-6 times during the whole time. I opened the door like, hello? They're like, the first time they was like, now mind you, it might have been questions that didn't have to do with us telling on them, but it was like, is there a dog in your backyard? We're like, no. Dog's put up. They're like, okay. Just in case he tries to come through the back or something, we want to be able to come through the back. Like, we're good. So they close the door. Remember, you know how our houses are made, so they can see him come to my house.
Your house is too close.
Then they come to the house again a little later. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So, did your daughter hear? Because that's one of the things. My daughter swore that she heard him arguing with a lady in there.
Yeah.
So did she hear another person's voice in there? I'm like, I don't know. You have to speak to my daughter.
No.
So they're like, well, can we speak to your daughter? I have to bring her down. They at my door again. You know, so I'm like, damn. So they came to my door like 3 or 4 different times. Then they came to the door to tell us not to come out. When they had the guns and stuff drawn, it's like, yeah, they knocked on my door again and say, yeah, okay, you guys need to stay in the house and stuff. And, you know, da-da-da. So I'm like, damn, 5 times you came in my house. You and told this motherfucker who and snitched.
Okay. I'm standing in front of your house. I'm looking at your front door. Left, right, or behind?
It's not the big woman on one side. You know the big
other
lady
side.
on that side. It's the other side. So if you're if you're going out my house,
Yeah.
so we're going out.
Yeah.
Then the night when we leave,
Uh.
it's on my left.
Yeah. Okay. That's all.
So, so they get him out the house finally. They handcuff him, sit him on the ground and stuff, and then they find out he has a warrant.
Oh shit.
Bye-bye.
So they take him. So we're all kind of like, whew, took him home. Just to make a long story longer,
Oof.
about 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm asleep. No, hell no. Man, if I'd have heard that, I'd have shit on myself. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm not even thinking about it no more. I'm not even thinking about it. Dudes in jail. I'm thinking dudes in jail and stuff. Everything's good. 3 o'clock in the morning, I hear his truck start up. I'm like, that's his truck. I'm laying in the bed. That's his truck. I get up. I go to the window. I look, and I see the lights and shit. I'm like, fuck, that's his truck. He's out. So how the fuck that motherfucker get out? We had a war in this shit. And, you know, it all ended that. I didn't see. Next morning I woke up, truck was gone, and he wasn't there. Truck's been gone all week and stuff. And then Friday night we come home. Me and the wife come home, and there's police officers out there again.
Oh shit.
We're like, what the fuck's going on? He's like, they're like, did you? Oh, the lady that owns the place that rented out the room, she came home and the screens and stuff was all broke off her house, like somebody tried to break in. So she called the police to have the police come check to see if anybody's in there and shit. So that's what happened that night. Then, so Tony, I didn't even tell you this because I ain't saw you since then. So that happened, and then we're like, fuck, man, all this fucking police action. Then the next day, I'm in the house, and somebody knocks Sunday morning. It's yesterday. Sunday morning, we're sitting in the house watching movies, and I hear on the door. I go downstairs. Hello, it's the police. The police want to know, hey, have you seen the guy next door? I'm like, no, I ain't seen the motherfucker next door. So I don't even know him like that. They say, well, we had a welfare call. Like the people, he was supposed to be somewhere, showed up. He didn't never show up, and now the people are worried about where he's at and stuff. And I looked out, and his truck was out there again. Now his truck ain't been there all week. I'm like, look, I came back, got the paper this morning. That truck wasn't there. That was like an hour ago. I said, now the truck's there. So I don't know where he's at, but that truck wasn't there an hour ago. So they're like, okay, we're trying to figure out where he's at and stuff. And da-da-da. And I'm like, this is way too much police action that we ain't never had. I've been there for 20 years and ain't never had Ain't
Hey,
never
man.
had this many
Man,
accidents.
You
live-
get a
you
new
live in
person in the neighborhood. You
in
get
the
a
hood.
You live in a ghetto ass neighborhood. I'm moving.
This nigga live 5
I live
blocks
in-
from me. This nigga live 4 blocks from me.
I'm moving. I live 4 blocks from him. I'm
nah,
moving.
fuck that shit. No.
So you supposed to call the police, right?
Yeah, call
Hell
the cops.
yeah.
Because
That
we
motherfucker
ain't
tripping.
we ain't that age where you
Hey,
just think, oh fuck
hey.
it, I'm gonna leave my. No, you got your
Hey,
family.
if your mind said call the cops, you call the cops. We don't
That's-
second guess no shit like
that's
that.
too
nowadays.
close. That's
Yeah,
too close
nowadays
for comfort.
you call the cops. Fuck
You
that
you
shit.
got me fucked up where you think I'm at home and now I got to be
Hell
tense
yeah.
and uptight because
straight bullets coming through the damn thing, all that shit. Hell no.
And remember, that motherfucker was in the backyard stabbing a tree,
with the machete
with a
by
machete.
himself,
talking shit
Bru-
about
playing,
Obama.
You
playing
had-
honky
you had
tonk.
Bruce
I wish
Leroy.
I could have. You know what? I didn't even think about it. My daughter actually recorded this shit on her phone, the audio. So you got. I should have brought it because if y'all could have heard some of the shit this motherfucker was saying, you'd have been like, "Yeah, you got to call the police."
Yeah,
This
I
motherfucker
ain't
lost
gotta hear
it.
it. I already told you to call the police.
I was already thinking about calling Kevin's ass to come over just because I had to fight this motherfucker. We just gonna jump
We
him.
gonna call the police. No, we was gonna call,
No, we gonna
call
call the
the
police.
police.
I done came over to tell you to call the police.
What's up, Eric? This motherfucker acting fool.
Hey, what's
let's
up?
call the police.
I was about to.
I'd have been like, "What's up?"
You hit him high, hit him low. We about to
He'd
tear
be
this
like,
motherfucker
"Yeah,
up.
Yeah,
this
nigga.
dude's crazy. Did you call the police?"
I'm too old to be hitting
No,
nobody.
I ain't call the police. No,
Told you.
let's call the police.
Told you.
I came all the way over to tell you to call the
Call
police.
the police.
You at that age? Nah, you too. That's too close
Officer
to become.
Timpson,
That's
you need to
way
come do
too
your
close to
job.
become.
Mhm.
You know,
Come do your
you
job,
done-
Officer
You done
Timpson.
messed up my day. You had me with the music, but then you fucked around
Yeah,
when you was
I-
doing the goddamn
And now I know too. I would never go over there and have a drink with that
Last
motherfucker.
Dragon and
I heard
shit.
that. You
I
can't
see.
drink with that motherfucker.
You over there. Nah, fuck that. You good? Nah,
And
call the cops.
that house been man, that house been suspicious anyway, bruh. They ain't never there. It's like I swear it was a drug house, man, but I don't know what's going on.
They
There's
out
some
there.
crazy shit going on, man.
They out there. Shit,
Anyway,
man.
I meant to mention that last weekend and we didn't, so I'm done with it. I think we talked about pretty much everything. I got a couple other topics, but we'll save them for next week.
All right. That's it.
Real quick,
Yeah.
we got to figure out how to get. I mean, getting followers and stuff. That's on us.
Mhm.
So we have to figure out how to be out there and stuff. But the people who do listen, if you're listening to us, and we know there's a few out there, give us some kind of notification that you're doing it. Like something, rate something. I mean, let us know something. You know, we don't. Maybe we need to hook up an email address or something where people can let us know something. Something. We're on Instagram. We're on as far as the show, the audio part of our show. We're on all shit outlets, iTunes. Don't help me out. What else we on? We on
Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify.
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud, everything. You know,
Google Play.
shit. Fucking what I listen to? Podcast Addict.
Yeah.
We're on all those. So there is fucking avenues for you to let us know. Just let us know something. That way we know what's going on. Because right now, you know, we're not getting a lot of feedback, and that might be on us. We need to figure out how to figure that out. But at the same time, the people who are listening, man, let us know. Yeah, we're working on stuff. Like I say, we're coming to the end of the year now, and we promise y'all, if not by the end of this year, for sure at the beginning of next year, there's gonna be some changes. We're gonna be able to do video, so you'll be able, on our YouTube channel, which is not popping at all, but on the YouTube channel, we're gonna have video where you can see, and you can see my beauty all up close and see these other ugly niggas.
My bad.
Coughing for it. Nigga. Be coughing, man. You gonna cough?
It's that season.
Man. Anyway, we're working on some stuff, and we need feedback. So everybody, let us know something. You know, you coughed and stuff, and that didn't even give us. I remind me, we didn't even talk about the fires. But did we talk about the fires?
Yeah.
We said we did say California was on fire.
Yeah, we're talking about.
Yeah, we on fire.
Okay. So yeah, so
Yeah.
let us know. Let us know.
And one more time, shout out to the vets.
Oh yep.
Most
Better.
You
definitely.
out there, brothers and sisters.
Thank you.
And for all those that are active,
Yep.
come home safe.
Definitely.
And unfortunately, your chain of command is that dickhead. So
Don't say that. Everybody's chain of command. Dick. Oh, you talking about the big chain of command, the major chain of command.
the first person in
commander in
your
chief.
chain of command.
Yeah, you right.
Okay.
Commander
Thank
Commander
you.
in chief. You right.
Thank you.
I thought you was talking about just everybody, like your.
No, not your sergeant or.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were
whatever
talking about.
it is. No.
My
No.
bad.
No,
You talking about the real dickhead.
the real dickhead. So
You should did too. So all right, listen. Yeah. Thank you, veterans. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, it's time to get low down and sexy with the 1992 hits. We got some Bobby Brown coming.
yeah, but you don't like Bobby.
I hate Bobby,
They can't stand by.
but he's sexy. We got some Silk coming. I know y'all love some Silk.
No,
Yes.
shy.
And we got some Keith Sweat.
Do.
That's it.
Coming at you next.
That's it.
What's up?
Baby.
All I gotta say is peace.
Love you, ma.
Happy Veterans Day.